गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Whenever we are argumentative by nature, everything we want to justify, argue, prove. Such people are always living in a very isolated world of self-pity. And whenever we are living with self-pity, there is no way out. It is better to be angry with somebody. It is better to give out boldly than to lead a life of self-pity. Arjun was suffering from this most dangerous psychological calamity called as self-pity. When we feel pity on ourselves under the following conditions. First, when we know for certain what we are doing is wrong, and yet we want to prove that this is right. There is that tussle going on within. For all practical purposes, anybody can understand to run away from the battlefield is a cowardice. And yet he wanted to run away. Now when I want to do something contrary to my own conscience, what I do? I try collecting votes. Those who collect votes, they are unable to live independent of the world. Then how to get out of this problem of collecting votes? Be a devotee. Don't vote for anybody. If you have to, hold on to the Lord. And that Lord is not somewhere here and there. He is very much in your heart. And that Lord in our heart is available to us. If we are available to Him, He doesn't have to come from anywhere. And this was the case for Arjun. He had, under the influence of his own delusion, taken a decision of which he was not satisfied. And therefore he wanted support from the Lord. Friends, whenever you want support from somebody, understand you are a weakling. A creeper cannot climb high up in the air. Because it is a weakling, it doesn't have strength. The other day, somebody came and asked me, Swamiji, I am on the crossroads. I said, then cross the road and be happy. That is the whole problem. The problem is, I am unable to decide whether I should take up to spiritual line or the samsaric line. These are his words. I said, first of all, line marna chhod do. Spirituality is also not a line, and samsara is also not a line. No, I have to decide whether I should get married or I should be a sannyasi, follow this path. I said, look here. As long as you have to ask somebody a question, you don't take any decision. And if you want to take a decision with the help of somebody, you should be totally surrendered to that person. Then only you will listen to the decision. Otherwise, we normally go to the Mahatmas. And we don't want advice, we don't want suggestion. We want a vote from them. Normally it happens. Today, I was replying emails. Hundreds I replied today. That's why my head and neck and everything is twisted. So, one person wrote a long letter. In the heart of my heart, I know everything. I have no doubt. But the question is, why I am not able to do this? Where I am going wrong? So I wrote him only one liner. You don't have questions, that is your problem. You have got only answers. There are many people who have got answers for everything and not a single question. And therefore they are searching for a question, not for an answer. They suffer in life. So Arjun had all the answers. If this happens, this will happen, that will happen. Then if you don't want to fight, don't fight, get out. No, I want support from somebody. So tomorrow I should be able to blame somebody. I did this thing, even my father told me, therefore I did. Many weaklings who get married, they always have this problem. Mama, I told you I never wanted to get married. Only for your sake I got married. Nobody gets married for the sake of mommy or daddy. One boy came and asked me, Swamiji, my mommy is telling again and again, please get married. I think for her sake I have to get married. I said, you don't deceive yourself. If she is so much interested in marriage, let her get married again. Why you worry? See, this is how we are weaklings within, want support from outside. Such people, they are described in the words of the Lord as klibba. Klibba means those who do not have inspiration to live life. Uninspired existence is detrimental to yourself as well as to others. Now, this was the case of Arjun. Now, such people are highly argumentative. And their arguments begin with one word or two words. Why and how. These are the two most dangerous words in any language. If you want freedom in your life, delete these two words from your vocabulary. The moment you stop asking or using the word why and how, you are at home. For example, you take your wife. And how do we complain about our wife? But why she doesn't understand me? If she would have understood, she would never have married you. Simple, isn't it? So instead of getting lost in this kind of questions, why she doesn't understand me, delete the why. What is the statement left behind? She doesn't understand me. Therefore, you should understand her. Solve the problems. Don't ask the question and strengthen the problems. Many times our questions are strengthening the situation. It is not dissolving the situation. So, this is one word. Why? Second word is how. But how to do this? Swamiji, you tell, be happy. But how to be happy? I say, you don't be happy. You do something else, I'll tell you. What is that? You learn swimming. How will you learn swimming? By sitting in the chair. Prepare notes. Take the left hand 45 degree, hit it into the water. Then take the right hand, do the same thing. That time go on fluttering your legs. If you got a tail, that also you can do. And when the water will disgusted of you, you will start floating. All those who swim, they are not received by the water. You see, when somebody commits suicide, dies, living bodies, they sink. Dead bodies float. So all the swimmers are dead. So if you want to learn swimming, how will you swim? Only by talking? No. You jump into the water. First water will go in you. Then you go into the water. And when there is equilibrium, then you start floating. Simple as that. In the same manner, if you have to be happy in life, you have to be happy in life by being happy. Refuse to be miserable. If you refuse to be miserable, you will not ask questions. Many times when we go and ask questions to the Mahatmas, as if Mahatmas are the culprits who have made us miserable. But why God has created this world? One fellow came and asked. I said, did God tell you He created the world? No, He didn't tell me. Who told you? Sabhi कहते हैं. Everybody says. I said, everybody says you are a fool. Do you agree? See, questions are asked, be very attentive. When we are not ready to think properly. You know, donations are asked when you don't want to work. Do charity, he will go to heaven. There was a priest and he was ill. I think I told you this story last time. He was ill, so doctor saw and he said, your lungs are gone. You have to go to a hill station and live there. Otherwise, it is not possible. You have to go. So the priest said, sir, it is not possible. I am very poor. I cannot manage. It is not possible. Okay, never mind. Other alternative. Prepare to go to heavens. Because you have been doing puja throughout your life. So you go to heaven. That means ready to die. He said, okay, I'll go to the hill station. He doesn't want to go to heaven. And he has been talking to the people that if you do this puja, you will go to heaven. Those who are wanting others to go to heaven, they go to hell. Such people are argumentative logic. Now such was the character of Arjuna. And when he wanted support from the Lord, he starts arguing. First argument. Arjuna vacha, katham bhishmamaham sankhe dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. First argument. Logic. क्यों मेरे गले में गड़बड़ है कि क्या है आज? ये ज्ञानी भाग जाता है कहीं से. अच्छा, कथम भीष्ममहम संखे द्रोणम च मधुसूदन. फर्स्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट. हाउ डू यू एक्सपेक्ट मी टू किल माय ग्रैंडफादर एंड माय गुरु? Now at the surface, it looks so divine, isn't it? Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronam cha Madhusudana. And there Arjuna is sarcastic. Frustrated man is always sarcastic. Like, many people, when we go the other day, I was somewhere, and he said, Swamiji, it is good to be a Swami these days. That is the best business. I said, yes. When spirituality becomes a business, that is the best business. You move all the time in the ACs and aeroplanes and mauj hai aapki. Earlier days, Mahatmas used to walk. So he was telling me, I was sitting quiet. He said, now you reply. I said, I don't reply. I will supply you. Let me see how much poison you have inside. And then I told him, Jal rahe ho kya? Who stopped you from going here and there? Whenever we are frustrated, we become sarcastic. So here Arjuna is sarcastic. He says, Madhusudana and Arisudana. Two words he has used. One who is the killer of demon. So killer of demon is a glory attached to the Lord's name. And Arisudana, the destroyer of the enemies. Another glory attached to the personality that Bhagavan Sri Krishna was. So like somebody writes, these are our military people. Even if after retirement they write that Brigadier Amuk Amuk Chopra, bracket retired. So the moment we read that Brigadier, immediately we have got respect. He was someone in the past. In the same manner, when you add these names to Arjuna, S.V. Yadav, Arisudana, stop, Madhusudana, they say S.C. Chopra, MSc, PhD. Oh, padha likha hai, yes. So that is the glory to you. And you want me to kill my grandfather and Guru and add the glory to my name. Arjuna, not Arjuna, Arjun Singh Kaurav. So Arjun Singh Kaurav, the not Madhusudana and Arusudana, grandfather killer and the Guru killer. Do you want me to have this attached to my name? How frustrated he was. And a frustrated person argues more than a fulfilled person. The other day somebody asked me, Swamiji, I have seen anywhere some discussions come, you sleep away. What is the reason? I said, sleep is the gift given by the God. When you are frustrated in your life, take a sleeping pill and you are in the heaven. Free. No problem. In this world, no problem is solved by argument and logic. Argument and logic makes you weak, not strong. Because whenever you put argument and logic, two things are possible. Either you win or you lose. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you lose the friend. Whether you want to lose a friend or you want to lose an argument, decide. So Arjun started, how do you expect me to kill my grandfather, Bhishmacharya, and Dronacharya, my teacher, who taught me how to take the bow in the hand, fix the string, put the arrow and pull it up to the ear and shoot into the target. Can I make that guru of mine as a target? Impossible. Now, these so-called goody-goody thoughts, do you think these thoughts were absent in Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya? It was only Arjun who was goody-goody. Therefore, beware. Those who are goody-goody on the surface, they are terribly confused within. It is better to be straight away rather than beating around the President of United States. Don't do that. And if we cannot go straight in our life, we always get lost. That is why when Arjun started arguing, Katham Vishmavaham Sankhe Drunam Chamrasudana Vishubhi Pratiyotsyami. And he further glorifies his own goodness. His own goodness he glorifies this manner. Forget about killing them. Even if they shoot arrows on me, I should not retaliate. Pratiyotsyami, retaliation. Because Pujarha Varisudana, Pujarha, they, both of them are worthy of worship, not worthy of killing. And you don't understand, oh Lord, what terrible situation I am going through. These crossroads, all of us come. But our crossroads are virtual. They are not actual. Our crossroads are, आप क्या लेंगे? Will you take tea or coffee? What a great dilemma. Whether to take tea or coffee. What are you preparing? No, you tell what you want, tea or coffee, finish it off. No. What he is taking, they are taking coffee. Okay, I will also take coffee. What a great sacrifice. It was not a sacrifice. It was lack of decision. And then, do you want in that sugar or equal or something? Oh, kuch bhi chalega. Because there is nothing inside. Be very clear. We must be clear in our understanding. So, Pujarha Varisudana, they are worthy of worship. How can we kill them? And once you take a wrong step, you start supporting your own step. This example I gave you last time probably. When I hire an attorney or a lawyer, who is a lawyer? Who legalizes the lie is called as a lawyer. So when I hire a lawyer, if there is any person belonging to that profession, accept him or her, because I have to survive. So, when I hire a liar, what for I hire him? For hanging me? No. I tell that I have done this crime. Now you save me. So he starts with the hypothesis that my client is innocent. And then he starts thinking. So whenever we take a decision first and then start thinking, we support our own decision through logic and get a wrong imagination. Aha, I have done a good job outside, but inside you suffer your own wrong things. So Arjuna is in this condition. Now he says, why shouldn't I retaliate even if they kill me? Because Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhikshamapi haloke hatvartha kamastu guruni haiva bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan. This is height of self-pity that anybody can reach. He says, Gurun hatva hi mahanubhavan. Our great people, the Guru, the grandfather and all elders, instead of killing them, it is worth that we take a begging bowl and move in this world in a most pitiable and lowest kind of existence. Friends, this is one of the worst detrimental trait anybody should not have. Never think of living on the arms thrown to us by somebody. Those who do not have self-respect, technically it is called as asmita. Asmita is different from ahankar. Swabhiman is different from abhiman. We must have swabhiman. Those who do not have self-respect, their life is worse than anything. And such people, they always lead a life of superficial goodness because they don't have the guts. So Arjun now starts. Instead of killing our nears and dears, it is worth that I take a begging bowl in the hand and lead a life of frustrated existence. Never do that. Those who have not learned to live in self-respect, God has created a blunder and He will improve it in the next life. He will not make us human being again. So, Shreyo bhoktum bhikshamapi haloke. Further, hatvartha kamastu guruni haiva bhunjiya bhogan rudira pratigdan. And what will happen? Suppose we win the war. Who told you will win the war? And when we will win the war, we will be enjoying everything which will be stained by the blood of our own nears and dears. Meaning, in a battlefield, is it that the milkshake is distributed? Is it for the first time he was fighting the war? War? No. Problem was how to kill our near and dear. Killing is no problem. Problem is near and dear. And this is everybody's problem. The other day, somebody asked me a question. Question was, Swamiji, how to get out of this Maya? I said, this question did you ask by default? The moment you see a Babaji, connect, aa gaya. You know, you get in every window some kind of pops. So, that's why we are called as pop singers. One question pops and we sing the glory. So, how to get out of this Maya? I said, what do you understand by Maya? Please tell me. No, Swamiji, I am too much attached to my child. How to get out of attachment? I said, produce half a dozen more children. Because you have, suppose, X quantity of attachment. Now, all that attachment is poured on that one stupid child. Now, if you have half a dozen, your attachment will be X divided by 6 per child. And lesser the attachment, happier you are. Therefore, earlier people used to be more happier than today's. Today, hum do, we too, our half. Not even one. Useless. So, when we think that after killing our nears and dears, we will be enjoying the blood-stained enjoyments. So the question is not killing, etc. Near and dear. Friends, be very attentive. To fight enemies is very simple. But to fight someone very near to you is very difficult. And what is the most nearest to us? Not husband, wife, children, they are useless. The real nearest to us is our own convictions, our own understanding, our own view of life. And because of that, we really suffer. That is the reason when we go to the teacher, the first thing required is, are we ready to give up anything that I was holding about in this world? If not, I cannot progress. Therefore, tyage naike amrutatva manashu. He who is not ready to give up and change his vision, his perception will not change. And unless the perception change, the interaction will not change. Unless the interaction changes, your experiences will not change. And unless your experiences change, your life will not change. How do we begin? Readiness and ability to change ourselves. But when we start arguing, how can I be happy killing near and dear? Friends, there is a Subhashita in Sanskrit which tells us a very important thought. This is contrary to the modern thought. If one organ of the body is required to be chopped off so that the whole body is maintained, it is worth. If one person in the family is required to be sacrificed so that the whole family is maintained, it is worth. If one family in a society is required to be sacrificed so that the society is maintained properly, it is worth. If a small group of people is required to be sacrificed so that the whole nation is benefited, it is worth. It is not the individual freedom that is important. What is important is the welfare of the totality. But when we don't understand this, because we are caught up into this funny thing of I-ness and my-ness, attachment to our nears and dears. Therefore, Arjuna's problem is our own problem. We are able to give advice to everybody. But when we face the situation, we are not able to do that only for one reason. The reason is we are not able to stand apart from the situation. This is one of the most essential things. If you want to look at the situation or the problem that you are in, the first requirement is ability to stand apart. The other day, one girl came, so much frustrated, depressed, rejected. Swamiji, I have decided to end my life. I said, I am not a suicide chamber. Please go out. End your life. You have got freedom. But don't end your life in my house. Because here I believe in living, not dying. No, that's why I came to you. Now see the sentence. That's why I means what for? To die or to live. Now if you have decided to live, live cheerfully and happy. And if you want to die, die yourself. Nobody will stop you. But the question is, decision should be yours, not anybody else's. No, Swamiji, actually I want advice from you. I said, I'll tell you advice, how to die. Because you don't want to live. You are making fun of everything, Swamiji. I said, look here, Amma, you know why I am making fun? Because I am able to stand apart from your situation. If you learn to stand apart from your situation, you will also make fun of your own foolishness. Just imagine, remember something. During your childhood that you have done, crying for a small little thing, marbles, or cricket bat you didn't get, or one particular thing you didn't get. How much hue and cry we have made as a child, and now look at it. When we look back in our life, we are ashamed. Was I that fool? The other day, somebody's marriage album they were showing me. So, that boy and girl, This, and I said, look here, I know who is the boy and who is the girl. So let me see myself. No, sorry, we'll explain. I said, I don't want explanation. It is not Bhagavad Gita. I don't want explanation. And then they say, okay, what they did, they clipped some pages, photographs. Somebody see this thing. Now the moment they clipped it, my interest went there. Why did they clip? Because we don't want to see the openness. We want to know secrets only. And when I opened that and I wanted to see, immediately that girl jumped on me and took up the album. I said, hey, what is this funny thing? Swamiji, I don't want you to see that picture. I said, then I must see. What is that? Then her mother told Swamiji, that is her picture when she was 3 months old. So 3 months old baby without clothes and kept in that album. I don't want to see that, how funny I look. I said, you don't look funny that time. Now also you look the same. There is no difference. All our past glory, foolishness, when we look now, we are ashamed in the same manner. If you are able to stand apart, you will see, we become miserable in this world. It is a shame on ourselves. This is the difference between the wise people and the otherwise. Now, Arjuna's further argument. Third argument. Na chaitad vidmak kataranno gariyo yadva jayam yadivano jayeyuhu yaneva hatmana jiji vishamaha devasthita pramukhenha taracha. Now we do not know what is good for us. Now slowly he is coming to the life. We do not know what is good for us, whether we should win or they should win. Is it a fixed cricket match or what? Whether we should win or they should win. Who decides who is going to win? Arjuna had that arrogance because he never lost in his life. Friends, please remember, those who have never heard no in their life, they have lost the charm of life. Those who have never said no in life, they have lost the best opportunity of life. Those who cannot say no and those who cannot hear no, they cannot grow spiritually. This is how many people, when they become frustrated, dejected, what is the reason? Only for this little thing. Swamiji, before marriage, I was like this. Anything I wanted, my father is to give. After marriage, I don't know what happened. Anything I tell to my husband, he says, no, what I should do? I said, first of all, don't cry. Second thing, when your husband says no to everything, start using the other language. I don't want to go for a movie. No, you have to go. Come. Don't become miserable in life. Those who have not heard no and said no, they cannot grow. Similarly, in our life, many times temptations come. That time, if you don't have the guts to say no, you cannot conquer yourself. And afterwards, then we regret. Actually, no, I should not. Today I received one email. He wrote, Swamiji, now I am 60. And during this particular time, I have done such a terrible thing. That time I was young. And now that particular thing is haunting me day and night. And as a result, now I am away from my wife, from my children. And I am so frustrated. I think I should come and stay with you. I send urgent email. Don't come. First sentence. Second thing, because you have to learn to say no. Second thing, all that you have done in the past, you can do only one thing about it. Forget it. God has given us the highest gift, to forget. And forgetfulness is unknowingly saying no. Suppose somebody has given you money and he asks back. Forget. That means I don't want to give. When did you give me? You gave me. create doubt in his mind, you will be happy. So, here Arjuna has this arrogance in his mind. Whether should we win or they win, who told you you are going to win? Na etad vidmaha kataranno gariyo yadva deyama yadivano jeyu. And further, suppose we win the war. Then, if we win the war, we don't want to live. Because we would have killed everybody in the family. And therefore, I think it is better that we cannot fight this war. I think we should return back. So he has come back. You must have played, that ladder and the snake. You go with great difficulty. And when now you are on 95 or 96, now you require only 2 or 4 like that. And you put it, exactly you get 2. Then from 92, from the 98, you come back directly to my God. In the same manner, so much of argument, logic. What is the baseline? Therefore, I think we should not fight this war. That is why never decide anything without proper understanding. If you are not able to understand, don't decide. Keep cool. Now here is a great mantra in Bhagavad Gita. This is the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter. Karpanya dosho pahatasva bhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yashreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shradhimam tvam prapannam. This mantra has got a tremendous power. Those who have faith, they will get the benefit. If you have to decide something, and if you are not able to decide something, sit before the Lord, very cool and quiet, early morning, finish your bath, get up, and take this Arjuna's shlok. Chant it for 11 times sincerely. Karpanya doshopahatasva bhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yashreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Chant it 11 times. And keep cool. And whatever is the reply that you get from within, hold on to that. Don't change. May what happen. Slowly, slowly, even if you fail earlier 10 times, a stage will come in your life when you will learn how to take a decision. Friends, this is very important topic, be attentive. Our love for our children is, particularly Indians, is such that we blunt their faculty of taking decisions. And the real growth of a person is, if that person is able to take independent decisions, take decisions, go wrong, fall, and get up, and then become a strong person. Otherwise, for every small little thing, Papa, Mummy, non-stop going on. There was a child, he is no more unfortunately. I have seen that child, husband, wife and one son. And husband and wife separated and wife was intelligent. She said, you keep the child, you will have company. And she walked away. That time the child was about 5-6 years. And I knew the child till he died. So naturally all the time, Papa, 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 Papa. While studying, Papa is required. To such an extent, if he is studying and says 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Papa, is it right? Right now? Yes. Then 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Papa, this is also right, isn't it? Slowly, slowly he develops a character. Anything that he does in his life, he has to get a certificate of okay from the father. The result is, the faculty of taking decision is gone. Very important. Very, very important. If we really want to help our children, ask them to take decisions in their life. Otherwise, everything. The other day I was in Ahmedabad. Swamiji, you tell me what I should do. When that young girl about 10th, 12th standard, Swamiji, you tell me what I should do. I said, you will do what I tell you. Go home and relieve me. No, not that. Whether I should take medicine, whether I should take engineering, whether I should take music, whether I should take commerce, what I should take. I said, look here, you have to decide yours. First principle. Now I'll ask you some questions. 2 plus 5. How much? 2 plus 5. Somebody, I don't have my calculator. Then I said, you become a doctor. As simple as that. But how can you say that I should not become an engineer? I said, for 2 plus 5 you require a calculator. So you are good only for killing somebody, not for building. So simple. Can't we decide ourselves? Even you see, while taking food, suppose there are many dishes, we get confused. I should take, I don't think I should take. I say, okay, aap kahte hai to le. You are obliging the world or what? You decide what you want or not. This is one of the most essential quality for everybody, particularly youngsters. When they have to fix many things in their life, they have to decide about their career. They have to decide about whether they should get married or not. If they have to get married, with whom? If they have to get married, why? Is it necessary? So all these decisions are to be taken by us. And friends, if we don't take our decisions in life, what happens? Then we are always safe and ready to blame others. See, the whole Bhagavad Gita was narrated to Arjuna by the Lord. And in the 18th chapter, Bhagavan clearly told Arjuna, whatever was to be told, I presented before you all the data completely and exhaustively. Now, you analyze, you arrive at a decision, and you do what you want to do. Don't do anything because I tell you. Very important. Never make your children weaklings. Papa, whether I should get married to this girl or that girl. Beta, get married to both of them. But if we get married to both of them, what will happen? You will be spared. Because they will have mutual partner to fight with each other. And the boys promise. Let them take decision. And how to take decision, this is the technique. So chant this, keep your problem before the Lord, and whatever reply you get from your inner voice, that is the last word, hold on to that. Be very attentive. When you start doing it, what happens? In the wake of any problem, your mind remains undisturbed. Undisturbed mind is the source of all the solutions. Disturbed mind is the source of all problems. And we can quieten our mind. Our mind can be undisturbed only in one condition. When we are in front of something or somebody for whom we have highest regard and respect. It is something like this. A small candle burning in a dark room becomes very bright. A small little thing in a confused mind is a terrible problem. And the same candle burning in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, in the blazing sun, that candle light has no value. Because now you are standing in front of the blazing sun. In the same manner, when your mind is absolutely quiet, in that quiet mind, the light of wisdom is so strong, the small little problems disappear. And then we come to understand that there never was a problem outside other than our appreciation of the situation, our estimation of the condition, and our ability to interact. This is what is required to be changed. And this can happen only by this technique. Those who have no single altar where you can surrender yourself totally and fully, they are the most miserable people in this world. We have to find out. Call him a God, call him a guru, call him a principle, call him a goal, doesn't matter. But you have to have something or somebody before whom you surrender so much that your mind remains assured that now I am in the safe hands. The moment you discover this inner poise, you will see, you will get the solution for any problem. And such a person alone can take quick decisions and right decisions. So, here is a technique. Develop an altar. And this I learned when I was in UK. There was one lady, I went to their house on the seashore, a slum. Like our Bombay slums are very rich. You enter any slum. So, these slum people, but when I went there, it was really slum in and out. And that lady was coming for my meditation classes. He says, Swamiji, one thing is the most difficult for me. Can you help me? What is that? I am unable to accept anybody as superior than me. And as a result, I am always argumentative. So, then she showed this lady who comes with you. I have seen how much she has changed. She has only one refrain. Swamiji told we do that. And she's relaxed. And when it comes to me, my question is, when Swamiji told, so what? Why should I do? Whenever we have this argumentative, logical thing, we lack surrender. When we lack surrender, we do not have the quality of the mind to take decisions. Therefore, here Arjuna tells, Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha. Who am I? Now he describes himself. He whose svabhava is, we are by nature something or the other. A warrior, a kshatriya, is the one who by nature is able to fight out the injustice. That is his svabhava. But Arjuna says, Karpanya dosha apahata svabhava. My original stamina to fight against the ills and evils, it is as if it is taken away. The whole life sap has gone. Apahata svabhava, pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta. As a result of which, I am confused about my own dharma. Friends, this is one of the most important topics. There is something called as identity crisis in life. What is right, what is wrong, everybody knows. What is anybody's duty, nobody lacks this knowledge. Now tell, which teacher doesn't know what is his duty? Every teacher knows. As a teacher, what are the duties we know? What are the duties of a student? Every student knows. What is the duty of a politician? What is the duty of an officer, a subordinate, a wife, a husband, a son, a father? What are the duties assigned to these particular positions? Everybody knows that. And yet, we go wrong. What is the reason? Now take an example. If a father helps the son, is it right or wrong? It is right. Father must help a son. But the father happened to be the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, and thereafter he helped his son so much that he forgot that he is the Prime Minister and he is selling the nation. Now be very attentive. In this, there is a clash of identity. Whether in that chair I am Prime Minister first or I am the father first. So when I am sitting in the chair of a Prime Minister and living as a father, so there is confounding of the identity. And therefore, what I do, I borrow the power of the Prime Minister and execute the duty of the father. See, a hybrid is born. Cross between two things. And whenever there is identity crisis, there is always a problem about what is my duty. This is what Arjun says. Dharma sammudha chetaha. My mind is confused about what is my duty. Suppose somebody is appointed. He gets appointment letter and he goes to the office of the Vice Chancellor. I have got this appointment letter from your university. I have come here. Please tell me my duty. Now the Vice Chancellor takes the appointment letter and goes through and sees by mistake or by providence the post to which this man is appointed, that is not printed. Now in the absence of the designation of the post, can the Vice Chancellor give and determine the duty of that person? No. Duty is always associated with a position. And if we are confused about position itself, we can never have clarity of our duty. And when we don't have clarity of our duty, then there will be always confusion. A confused mind cannot decide anything. Think. That is why you must have seen any wealth that is earned by the first generation normally produces wealth. Second generation enjoys wealth. Third generation destroys wealth. Isn't it? Because the first generation when started, they had a clear identity. I want to achieve something in life and work day and night. Then comes the second. बाप का पैसा उड़ाने के लिए. Simple rule. And then they start spending here and there. Now they produce the third generation. And they have learnt only one thing from their parents. That their parents were lucky enough to have the rich parents. So why should we work? And in the third generation, everything is destroyed. What is the reason? Dharma sammudha chetaha. Therefore, friends, it is to be very clear in our mind as to who am I at a given point of life. Now, second point. We all have to play many roles in life, not only one role. I cannot be husband all the time. Otherwise, it will be a problem for the world. There was a husband and he had a fight with his wife. And in that fighting mood, he left the home. And when he left the home, reached the office, and in the office, he should be an officer. But he forgot to leave the husband at home and brought the husband in the office also. And his subordinate gave a slip. Sir, I have to take my wife for medical checkup. Kindly grant me half day casual leave. I will come after the lunch break. The moment officer come, husband jada. So this officer saw that particular application. Wife, nothing happens to the wife. How can you say nothing happens to the wife? Are you international husband or what? Because he was so angry with his wife. The moment he read the word wife in the application, it was enough for him to get upset. Why? Because husband was not deleted when he started playing the role of an officer. Therefore, identity crisis can be solved when we remain aware and alert about what I am at a given period of time. See? Everything has got its own place. Everything has got its own way. When we don't understand that, we get confused and then we become frustrated. The other day, somebody probably in Ahmedabad somewhere recently, last 2-3 months, one person came and asked me some question. I said, "Baad mein batayenge, tell you later." Again, second day asked the question. I said, "Not now, later." Then he wrote me email. People blackmail me emotionally, therefore they say email. "Swamiji, I met you and I asked you 2-3 times questions, but you always avoided. Why?" I said, "You must have asked me questions exactly at the wrong time. Like many people, those who are asuras, those who do not know the tal and rag, many people, when the bhajan kirtan is going on, they clap exactly at the wrong time. So you must have asked the question exactly at the wrong time. Everything has got its own place. Everything has got its own way. But if we are not able to understand, because we have this identity crisis. The other day, where I was recently, and something deep, gambhir thinking was going on, and then that fellow came and he said, "Swami ji, kuch mazak ki baat batao. Tell some jokes." No, a grown-up man with a Gandhi topi comes and sits with all respectable disposition and doesn't understand all the people who are asking questions. They are so quiet and absolutely quiet. Not even little bit of movement in the whole room. Everybody was like statue. And that time, who comes and tells, "Swamiji, serious mat karo, joke batao." Now, can you feel any respect for that person? You feel only pity. Abhi bachcha hai. Everything has got its own place. Dharma sammuda chetaha. So all of us have to play different roles in life. We can't be all the time husband. We can't be all the time officers. We can't be all the time wife. We can't be all the time daughter-in-law. So if we understand who am I at a given period of time, you will never have confusion about your duty. Now what happens? Take the youngsters. Youngsters are the one who have very clear understanding that parents are our enemy number one. No doubt. And because of this, all their thinking goes only in one direction. And who are the parents? Parents are the one. Their only question is, every child is doing well. Why my child doesn't do well? The other day one Amma came, started, I said, "Amma, you forget. Your child is not bright. Because it is your child, is it?" You cannot bypass the law of heredity. लोगों के बच्चे कैसे पास होते, हमारे क्यों नहीं पास होते? तुम्हारे हैं इसलिए. Therefore, dharma sammuda chetaha, we become confused about our duty when we are confused about our identity. Now one more example, then I'll go ahead. Many times when accidents etc. take place, that time accidents are never committed by a driver. Accidents are committed by somebody who was driving the car and something was bugging him. Husband said like this thing, wife said like this thing, son said like this thing, office mein ye problem hai, and there is a lot of problem, tension, and in that tension, It was not the driver who was driving the car, but it was his frustrated personality. As a result, he is unable to assess the situation and goes and bangs LIC. Every accident, nobody suffers. It is LIC who suffers. Therefore, pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Further, yasreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me. Therefore, O Lord, kindly tell me what is good for me. Now, this is another greatness of Arjuna. There are two things in this world. One thing is what we like, and second thing is what is good. All that we like need not be good, and all that is good we need not like it. Getting up early in the morning. Simple example. Right from our KG we have studied. Early to bed and early to rise is the way to be healthy, wealthy and wise. But we will go to bed after seeing the late night movie. And then after 2 o'clock if you go to sleep, Brahma Muhurta you go to sleep. And then get up early in the morning at 12 o'clock. And whole day you are having the hang up of the last day. Now in this thing, continue in the bed for very long hours. I like so much. But it is good, it is not good. Therefore, pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Our attention should be what is good for us and not what we like. Now one very important thing. You ask any child even, come on beta, we'll have a cup of milk. I don't like milk. Why you don't like milk? I don't like, that's it. Meaning, for any liking and disliking, there is no logic. You must have come across many places. The husband and the wife. A typical example, I'll tell you a historical example of Layla and Majnu. You may not be knowing, I was not there, I only read. This Majnu was a very handsome boy. And Layla was the ugliest of her time. If there was an ugly contest, like beauty contest, she would have been the first person. So ugly she was. And when this fellow is not ready to give her up, so her father tried the last. What is that you have seen in my useless, ugly daughter? That you are so mad and you like her so much? Immediately, Majnu Uvach, Majnu says, to see the beauty of Layla, you require the eyes of Majnu. Meaning what? There is no logic why I like her. Now be attentive. Our likes and dislikes are not supported by reason. And all our life is an expression of personal likes and dislikes. Therefore, our life is unreasonable, illogical, and we talk about logic. Think, are we living in our life what is good for us and others no? Everything we want to do whether I like or I don't like. And therefore, if we want to come out of this chaos that we have created in our life in the field of arriving at a decision, first decide what is good for us, not what we like. Now as a youngster, when one is in a teenage, 13, 14 years and all that, that is the time all physiological changes are coming in our body. Everything is new to everybody. And they are unable to contain themselves. And if that time they do not have self-control and the control from the parents in the home, what has happened in the West today will happen in our homes tomorrow. Because what is wrong? That is I like. It is not a question of whether we like or not. What is important is whether it is good or not. And what is good for us and not, if we are not able to understand, it is better to take the advice of the elders. And this is why Arjuna had the benefit to have the Lord in front of whom he could ask this question, "Oh Lord, I am unable to decide what is good for me, whether I should fight this war or I should withdraw from the war." Because whenever we are the victims of our own personal prejudice, likes and dislikes, that time we are weaklings. And whenever we are weak, we are crushed in this world. And if you want to be really strong, decide whether you want to have something good in your life or something what you like in your life. And you will see our liking is always not according to something higher. In Sanskrit words it is said, the Vikruti in the Prakriti is naturally liked by us. Vikruti is the modifications in the matter. But the truth is beyond modification. And that is where our good is hidden. But when we come under the influence of these modifications, then we start living at a very low level of existence. So, yashreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me. Now, one further point. Everything that happens in our life has got these two sides. Like a coin has two sides, head and tail. Everything may be good or bad, and everything may be we like or don't like. So every experience of our life has two sides. One side is good or bad, other side is like and dislike. Now we decide. You toss. Now whether you want good in your life or what you like in your life. Meaning every event of our life can be converted for our good or for our bad. Provided we know the art of interacting. Take an example. Every one of us in our life have to go through many good and bad experiences. And every good and bad experience can become a turning point in our life. Provided we know how to interact in our life. Now one example which I gave earlier also. Example of Tulsidas Ji Maharaj. He was a great person. Why he became great? Before marriage, there was no lady in his life. He was born, immediately mother and everybody died. So he was looked after by some Babaji. And the feminine love was a great hunger in his life. So he studied lots of scriptures, became a very good orator, Ramayani. And he got married to somebody. After he got married, he was so much infatuated with the wife, he cannot think anything else except wife, wife, wife. And one day when he came home, he came to know the wife has gone to her father's house. It was raining in cats and dogs, like a typical Hindi cinema scene. And in all that he goes here and there and lands in the room of his wife in her father's house in a most heroic manner. All wet, cut here and there. Darling, for your sake, I have come. If it was really a darling of the modern type, she would have come. I know, honey, how much you love me. But she was a great lady. She changed out of that useless, lusty man into a great saint. How? She said, as much you are attracted towards this wretched body of bones and flesh, If you spend your time with that much attention to the Lord, you will have His vision. Now this statement is said by how many wives to how many husbands? How many have become Tulsidas? And most of them have become Devdas. Isn't it? See, event is the same. How you encash that? Whether you convert that event for your good or you convert that event for your destruction. Therefore, every difficulty that comes in our life, every challenge that comes in our life brings out the best in us, provided we have got the faculty to evaluate the situation and take a right decision at the right time. Friends, if we are unable to take right decisions at right time, we blame others. So we start blaming wife, husband, children, in-laws, outlaws, neighbors, government, God. Because somebody has to be blamed for our miseries. So here is a very important theme. Yasre yasya nishchitam bruhitanme. Now, who will really advise us? Who can really help us? If you go to a doctor and tell the doctor, Doctor Saab, I am not well, I have got this problem, I have tried many doctors, I have come to try you. Do you think that doctor will sincerely look at you? He will say, whom you have gone? I have gone to Mr. Bimari Wala. So, why don't you go to, he is a very good doctor. If you are not Bimar, he will make you. Because he knows you have come for a doctor shopping. You are not sincere. If this is true with reference to a doctor, we go to ask somebody. And when that somebody knows that this fellow is only collecting general knowledge. Like I tell you many times when people come and ask us questions. In that question, the first thing that we assess is whether this question is born out of examination. Every question has got different shades. One shade of the question is examination. One teacher asks a question in the examination to the student. Which is the capital of China? Now the student says, right, sir, you know very well. Yes, the sir knows. Then why did he have the question? He didn't have the question because he doesn't know. He wanted to examine the student. So one shade of the question is examination. Second shade of the question is objection. Why did you come late? That means you are not supposed to come late. That question he did not reply. The third shade is that what is God? That is inquiry. We want to know. And the fourth is general knowledge. Swamiji, I am thinking, we are going, 1 घंटे का flight है. Tell me something about anything you like. So Babaji को चाबी भर दो. Babaji बोले जा रहा है. Do you sit down there? No. So here, when the question is asked, how much sincere is the person who is asking question? So he says, Shishyaste ham shani mam tvam prapannam. I totally surrender my individuality, O Lord, and I have sincerely come to seek your guidance. Unless there is sincerity, you never get reply to any of your questions, not only from the people, but even from your own heart. Why we are not able to get solutions in our heart? Because we are not sincere. With all sincerity, sit quiet and be firm that whatever reply comes as the result of this problem, I shall accept that reply as the final authority. Don't change thereafter. Sit quiet, chant the Lord's name 5-10 minutes, put your problem, oh Lord, this is the thing, what shall I do? I guarantee you, everybody gets the right answer from within. But what happens? we improve upon that. Because we are not ashamed to improve God's creation. We want to improve the world. The one who has created the world, poor God, he doesn't know his show. So we want to change the world. We don't want to change ourselves. That is why Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tam Prapannam, the Lord says, the Arjuna says to Lord, O Lord, I totally surrender to you. And therefore, I deserve your instruction. See what happens, many times we go to so many people, and while talking, things come naturally. The other day, I happened to meet some couple for the first time, and when I met that lady, I started talking to her in singular language. Tu kaisi hai, kya hai, started. When it came to talking to the husband, immediately the language changed. आइए बैठिए आप कैसे हैं तबीयत ठीक है आपकी. He became very angry. Swamiji, you are addressing her singularly, and to me, why are you keeping at a distance? I said, look here. I neither call somebody near nor push somebody away. It just comes naturally. Because the moment there is a proper chemistry, when our frequencies match, immediately the relationship changes. And when we are talking to somebody, and if there is arrogance, if there is inhibition, if there is obstinacy about what is this, what is that, you cannot have a simple straight interaction. And therefore here Arjuna says, Shishyasteham, O Lord, I surrender myself fully. I accept the discipleship. And because I accept the discipleship, I deserve your instruction. Friends, we go to the Mahatmas and want to evaluate. वो सच्ची महात्मा है कि झूठी महात्मा है? Isn't it? And when we go to the Mahatmas, do you think they accept us blindly? They also see कि एक पैसे वाला भगत है, very, very important. So when Arjuna says, Oh Lord, I deserve your advice, please tell me. Because nahi prapashyami mamapanudyan yachhoka muchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatna mruddham rajyam suranam apicha adipatyam. Because I am unable to decide at this juncture what is right for me, and this much I know, it is you alone who can guide me. So I have come to a last person. Now whatever you tell, that I shall accept. Because this terrible confusion in the mind is taking away all the strength and vitality of my personality, and therefore I am ready to reject anything in this world. What to talk of this world? But even the lordship of all the three worlds doesn't matter. Because the confusion and chaos in my mind is so killing. Oh Lord, please help me. This is what happens when we are confused about our identity. Now to that confused Arjuna, how the Lord brings him out. This is another most beautiful part. One thing you can study from Gita. How to talk, how to present your subject matter, how to make your point, and how to be straight to the point, not running around here and there. These are things worth learning, because there are two things. How you dress and how you address makes all the difference in life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.